Hello, everyone. This is Professor Widener. Welcome to the spring 2022 semester. I will be your instructor if you are in section 1 and the lead faculty for section 2 for advanced practice nursing clinical synthesis. I'm sure it's hard to believe, but this is your last clinical before you can sit to take your nurse practitioner exams. So I hope that you enjoy it and you learn a lot. There is definitely a lot of information, but it's designed to help you navigate practice and get you ready to take the boards. So I want to go through the syllabus, and then there'll be another video where we're going to go through the clinical orientation. So for this clinical course, there's 135 clinical hours, 121 of them are precepted hours, and 14 of those hours are post-conference hours. Please remember to document those as such in your in Project Concert. Under the faculty, as far as contacting me, you have my email, my office phone, which does go automatically to my email, but if there is an emergency, you do have my cell phone that you could call or text to me. Applicable for both sections, I will have virtual office hours every other week from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. and as needed by appointment. The Zoom link for the office hours and the dates are on the home page. And remember, they are for both section 1 and 2. Amanda Crambo will be the clinical faculty for section 2, and her email and cell phone number are posted. So that means for those of you in section 2, Amanda will be responsible for your site visit and your evaluations and grading your work. And I will be there to help with any issues that might come up. For this class, there are no required textbooks. You will be required to get the multimedia module package, which is already included with your student fees. And if you should have already received an email from Barclay and Associates how to access your multimedia package, if you have not, please send me an email so we can get you in touch with them this week so you can get started with your review. A bunch of this stuff you can just read through, the class meeting times, the COVID information, the course description. You can read through those at your leisure. We're going to move to the clinical, how you get your grade. And just as with all the other clinical courses, 75% of your grade comes from your precepted clinical experience, which comes from your final evaluation. There is one discussion board to complete, and there are 7 Barclay review journals that are worth 2% apiece. Your HESI journal, should you need to do it, is 1%, and required components of this class are that you take the HESI exit exam and your clinical logs are done in Project Concert. Remember that any complete or incompletes must be completed. If not, it will result in a course failure. The grading system is the system that you already know. There are examples of late assignments. Again, these are all things that have not changed since you've been with us. Please note that by the midterm for this class, you need to have completed 33 hours of clinical experiences, and that your clinical hours must be completed no later than the 13th week of classes. Again, we know that COVID has presented different challenges, but please, whatever schedule changes you need to make or whatever flexibility you might need, please just keep in touch with your clinical faculty and your preceptor so we can help you navigate those things. Keeping good communication will solve a lot of problems and keep you being able to successfully complete the course. We're going to go over midterm evaluations and site visits a little bit more in the clinical orientation. I want to go through the course assignments a little bit. So in the Barclay review modules, please remember that the journals are between you and your instructor. These are to point out areas where you need further assistance, areas where you need, you feel really comfortable. What you'll do is after you complete a couple sections, you will do a journal, and the dates are specified, but what you complete in that time is not specified. We did used to have a schedule that people needed to complete the certain modules by, but we actually found that some people wanted to move a little faster and some people moved a little bit slower, and some people like if they got sick for a week with COVID and had to be out, they couldn't complete as many. So we have decided to let the students make their own schedule as to how they are going to complete the Barclay review. But please note, it has to be finished by the end of the semester. And you need to be making consistent progress with it, but specifically the pace at which you move can be determined by yourself. And if you need help with setting a schedule, there is an example in Module 1, and I'd be more than happy to help you test that as well. Your HESI testing policy, if you are a family nurse practitioner, you will take that exam. And if you are an adult gerontology primary care nurse practitioner, that is the exam that you will take. We ask you, if you do not receive a score of 850, that you'll be required to develop a remediation plan and submit to the faculty. Based on your HESI exam, you'll write a journal, and that is a course requirement for everyone. If you have less than 850, you'll talk about your remediation plan. And again, if you did really well, you can reflect on how you did and what areas you feel you may need to study on prior to taking your exam. You can read through all these again. So for this course, each week there is something going on typically. So for our first week, you will complete the clinical orientation, which includes reviewing the PowerPoint, watching the video, and taking the quiz. Hopefully, you will listen to this video and review the syllabus. Make sure all your clinical clearances are up to date. You'll review that project concert. Make sure you still have access to that. And if you don't, you can contact Melissa Markham. You make sure that you have received information from Barclay about the modules. And if you have not, let me know right away. And we do recommend that you start them as soon as you can. You must also download your clinical tracking form to keep track of your hours, because this must match your hours in project concert exactly. Remember, you cannot start clinical hours until your clinical orientation is complete. You receive a 90 or greater on your clinical quiz, and you've been cleared by your clinical faculty. We know this first week is a little bit busy, so just email us, or if you need to start and you have not got a response from us yet, please feel free to text me and I can look in and clear you quickly. If you did have permission to start early, we do appreciate that you have started early. There were a few people that had an exception. Please know that you must just complete the quiz as well, as it's part of the course. Then as you move through each module, for example, in week 2, you're going to go to the AANP website, which is the certification board that you'll use. And there you'll find different instructions. We're going to teach you how to find the certification booklet and what to complete and what items you'll need. So it's very informative. You'll continue your hours and also continue to work on your Barclay modules. Over the course of the semester, we will review how to write a resume, how to do an interview. We will walk you through the national certification process and filling out the paperwork for whichever state you live in, because we will send that out upon graduation, so you can continue to just move right into getting your license. And try not to be overwhelmed by this. It's a lot of information, but there'll be lectures and things to help you along. And if you have any more questions about the process, you can feel free to join me at office hours, or send me an email and we can set up a time to talk. By week 6, you must make sure that your midterm evaluation is complete. We will take spring break during March 7th to the 14th to the 13th. Please know that you can totally take the week off if you're doing well. And I hope that you at least take one day off to rest, but you may also continue to work on your clinical hours that week. And again, if you need us, we can be reached by this email and telephone in the same way as we always are. We will have a lecture on billing and coding, because that's something that you'll need to know as well when you get your first job. They will teach you again how to do that, but we want to make sure that you've at least heard the information once, so you can, it's not totally foreign to you. In week 11, you will receive information on how to take the HESI test, and then, as with our other semesters, 13 and 14 are your weeks to take the HESI exam. All clinical hours must be completed by April 17th. And again, if you have any problems with that, please make sure you let us know. So that concludes the syllabus review. I really think you'll enjoy the information. It's exciting and scary all at the same time, but we hope that this will make you feel more comfortable as you prepare for your boards. We're excited to work with you this semester, Professor Crambo and I, and we're here to support you in any way that we can. Take care.